Hi villagers, welcome back. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell to get all of my latest parenting tips if you haven't already. Are you embarrassed and annoyed by your toddler who keeps hitting you or other people? First, I will give you some reasons why this might be happening, and then I'll tell you what to do about it. I'm Jade and this is my village. It's common for toddlers to go through a hitting phase. My youngest one tested out his hitting skills because he saw kids at daycare doing it, but after less than 2 days, he stopped because I used these great strategies. Our children, they're not hitting to hurt anyone. They do it more for emotional reasons, but of course we're concerned about it, and we definitely don't want them to turn into the school bully. But that rarely happens. Don't get all worried about that. We do want to correct their behavior though before it turns into a pattern that's difficult to break. Until age 3, they have no sense of compassion, and we know how good the younger ones are at impulse control. Not good. But why are they doing this? Well, some children are just created with a temperament that makes them react with anger, while others are just able to shrug it off, move on to something else. But there's likely more at play than just their personality, of course. If they don't talk well and they have trouble communicating their feelings, then they're more likely to feel frustrated about getting what they want and need, right? And watch my video about helping your child talk for tips on that. They also have many emotions, just like we do. They're humans too. Imagine not being able to tell someone that you're stressed out or hungry or tired. You'd be frustrated too. And you might use your body to show how you feel, especially if you feel cornered or crowded. And if you're with a whole bunch of friends who are always doing things that you don't like not sharing or taking your toys, then you might have a reason to lash out more often too. Another reason that young children resort to hitting is that they just want to see what's going to happen. Maybe if I hit her, she'll give me what I want. It could also be that this little angel just sees another kid hitting or an adult, and he's simply copying to see what's that all about. Your child also could have watched a video or a show that contained violence, and I'm not blaming you. Could have happened while they were with someone else, or maybe they saw something that an adult was watching, or just clicked on a cool but violent cartoon on YouTube. Whatever. But it's a fact that children who see violence are more likely to be aggressive. There's research now to back that up too, so just keep a close eye on what they're watching, okay? Now, if you can pinpoint the cause of the hitting, then stopping it will be much easier for you. For example, if she hit a friend because her cracker was taken, then tell her that she should just ask for another cracker instead. Look for a pattern. Are they mostly hitting at a certain time of day? Or is it when they're in groups? Or maybe it's just due to one special toy that they love. Make sure that they're taking routine naps because we all get cranky when we're tired. Now, how do we stop them from hitting? If they're already doing it, it's basically all about how you react to it. And I'll go over that more in a minute, but you want to stoop down so that you're able to maintain excellent eye contact and calmly, but seriously say, no hitting, that hurts. Or it makes people sad. I can't let you do that. Something along those lines. Don't give it too much attention. If you do, then they'll want to hit so that they can get that attention from you. They don't care if it's negative or positive attention. Both make them happy. Plus, they like to get a reaction out of us. Guess it's fun to watch crazy people? But if he's not a consistent hitter, you've only seen him do this a couple times, then just calmly inform him that he can't do that because it hurts. You're mostly just telling him this because he likely doesn't know at this point. But once he understands that he's making people sad and he's not allowed to hit, then he'll stop. Unless someone at home is hitting, in which case he will likely continue to copy that behavior. My favorite method is to help them put a label on their emotions. If they can understand what they're feeling, then they can choose how to react to it. They're getting so many emotions that are so very new to them. They just don't understand what these frustrating feelings even are. And even if they didn't hit anyone, it's always a good idea really to help them identify their current emotion. Say something to acknowledge their feelings like, I can see that you're upset because I took your hammer away. Oftentimes they'll just calm down because they can see that, oh, you understand how I feel. And empathy could solve so many of the world's problems, right? It's difficult though for toddlers to understand or even think about how their actions are making other people feel. They're mostly just concerned with themselves. That means that they'll have to rely on you for the constant reminder. You hurt me and that makes me feel very sad. They don't want you to feel sad because they love you and because they prefer when you're in a happy mood, just like we all do. I know you're upset because you wanted to play with that toy a little bit longer, but hitting is mean and it doesn't get your toy back. Role play. I use the role play technique to teach my toddlers so many different life situations. I definitely recommend it. Not just giving it a try, but adopting it like on a regular basis. Basically, you just pretend to be a toddler, play out the scene so that you can teach them how to react and teach them what words to use. For example, can I have my toy back, please? Could I please have a turn with that truck? And then you just repeat these phrases all the time. Otherwise, they won't stick, of course. And you want them to use their words, like Daniel Tiger's song, use your words, rather than to react by hitting. You could also use pretend dolls, stuffed animals, pretend they're toddler friends. If they have trouble talking and using their words, they could also try just walking away from the other toddler or the stuffed animal when they're feeling upset. Or they could just ask a grown-up for help. Or they could use other strategies to calm their bodies down. I try to let my boys solve as many of their own problems as possible. I teach them to tell an adult when they have to, but not to rely on me for every answer, please. And they've become very efficient at this, but obviously it doesn't always work with two toddler boys who are only 20 months apart. But teaching them to share and take turns does help reduce that hitting for sure. Watch my video about teaching sharing for more tips on that. And this next tip may seem obvious for some people, but it's not. Some of us parents will lightly hit a child's hands or legs or booty as a reprimand and think nothing of it since it's not really a spanking. But young toddlers, they see no connection between their behavior and you hitting them. They just aren't capable of understanding the reason behind hitting yet. So when you hit them, it makes them think that hitting is okay. If you can also predict when your child's about to hit or someone else, then dispelling the hitting problem will go faster for you. If you know that she's tired and cranky or you see she's about to get upset, then brace yourself, get ready, because taking this preventative measure will result in you and her and the victim all being less angry. So once you see that tiny arm going in for the hit, that's your chance to block it and catch it. Use those ninja skills, but don't be all scary and mean looking like a ninja. Children have enough fear inside of them already. Remember, we talked about this. Now, once you've stopped the violence from occurring, look her in the eye, keep looking, and then say, I can't let you hurt someone. Pause, wait. You'll see in her face when she understands this, and that's when you can give a hug and look away. Again, remain calm and gentle. I know, easier said than done when you're getting punched and yelled at, but this way your little munchkin will absorb your positive vibes because attitudes are contagious. That's what I always say. And then they can be calm and won't even feel like hitting anymore. So calmness is key. Find your zen zone. Just want to drive that point home. Now that they weren't able to let the bad feelings out by hitting, they may come out in other ways. But you're ready for that too. Better out than in, I say. Nothing wrong with experiencing the anger emotion. Now that your child knows that he can trust you to be calm, he'll trust you to pump him up full of love, even though they may be screaming and crying to get those fearful feelings out. It's up to you to be that calm in the storm, the safe place that's full of hugs. So you can say things like, I know it's hard, but it'll get better soon. I'm here to keep you and everyone safe. Encourage them to tell you what they're feeling and why. Show that you're listening intently and thank them for trying to communicate their feelings. That's hard work when you're 1 or 2 years old. And try not to talk too much too. But when you do, remember to use your meditation CD voice like, oh, no, I understand why that made you mad. I'm glad you're feeling calm and happy again. Why don't we play with this bunny rabbit? If you do the opposite and you raise your voice, then you not only scare him, but you also reinforce negative behavior like hitting. You can even give your child tools to use when you're not there, like breathing slowly, hugging, singing, having a drink, tapping their fingers together, anything to calm their bodies down. So now that you're calm, you can remind them that it's not okay to hit when you're mad. Just talk about your feelings instead next time, okay? And figure out what they can do next time that same situation arises, because they already know the rules. They know it's not nice to hit at this point, but it's hard for them to think about that when they're feeling upset and scared and in that moment. So there's no need to give them a long lecture about what they already know. What if he doesn't listen to you though and he just does it a second time? Well, I put mine in a short, peaceful timeout. I hesitate to tell you about timeout because punishment can make hitting worse if it's not done peacefully. Timeout isn't for every parent either. Honestly, there are better methods, but if you choose to try it, do no more than a minute for a 1 or 2 year old. And don't drag him, don't do it angrily because he'll be scared, won't understand your angry behavior, and then he'll just end up hitting again, remember? So you do have to be consistent with your consequences though. You can't just let him hit someone sometimes, but then other times you put him in a timeout. No. You have to do something every single time. Otherwise, just like anything else, he'll just be waiting for that time where you'll let him get away with it again. They're always testing our boundaries, aren't they, those little boogers? But we love them. Now, just to clarify this whole consequences thing, that's not the same as punishing. Positive discipline is a stronger long-term alternative too. Don't tell him he's bad or other negative things because that just further aggravates him, which leads him to hit more in the future. Sounds complicated all of a sudden, but our goal is to teach him how to deal with these big, angry, fearful emotions. Lastly, what works best for me is really positive reinforcement, but it's not really something you do in the moment. It's something you do all day, every day. It's really part of the foundation of my parenting style. If you give them plenty of positive attention and notice them when they're doing great things, then they're far less likely to do things you don't like. They'll want to continue to repeat those positive behaviors that you've been praising them for. But anyway, that's another video. Children will get rid of stress quickly in whatever way they can, but that moment where they have negative feelings can also end quickly if you're the emotional anchor. Some of that fear they were feeling will just vanish and they can flip the switch to happiness again. It's amazing. Soon enough, they'll be able to manage those big feelings all on their own. Magic. I know it can be hard to remain calm and open to listening when your toddler is hitting, especially when they are clearly not calm. But this is definitely the best way to dispel their anger because once they're calm, they're able to think more clearly and teach them ways to calm their bodies down when they're feeling angry. Although first they have to be able to recognize that they are indeed feeling upset, and that will take time to learn as well. So, like with all other things toddler related, call on your extra patience and also share this video with everyone that's a part of a child's life, yours, and have their own kids. Share your own tips about hitting in the comments below. Let me know if you have questions or struggles of your own too. Now, show me some love by hitting that subscribe button and the bell, and then love one another. You can go ahead and watch my next video now.